how many AI tools are actually being used inside your organization right now? And more importantly, who owns them? The data that they're touching, and whether they're actually approved. I wanted to see if I could build a simple way to answer those questions. I'm Omer, and I'm documenting this process of this build. For this episode, I'm taking the concept from the NIST AI risk management framework and turning it into something practical. I'm starting with the map function and building a simple AI inventory in Excel. And to be clear up front, this isn't a NIST assessment or a certification. This is my educational prototype for showing how I might operationalize some of these concepts. So here we go with the build. I started out with a new blank workbook, named it OJMMH AI Inventory version 1, because this is the first version, is a prototype. So, and then from there, I named 4 sheets, 1 being AI inventory, 2 being risk, 3 being dashboard, and 4 being reference. So, let's freeze. I'm starting with the basic question. What AI system do we actually have? Every system gets an identifier, so it can be referenced later. Then what we're using and who provides it. AI tool provider. Next will be ownership. Ownership matters. So I have here business owners and technical owners. An AI system shouldn't just exist without someone responsible for it. And then after that, purpose. What is it actually being used for? And next, data classification. This is a field I care most about. What kind of information is this thing touching? Then, business criticality, because not every AI system carries the same impact. And finally, do we actually know whether this is approved? Next, we're going to go over to the reference list and start building up our dropdown. So I got a head start. So these dropdowns aren't a convenience feature. They're the whole point. If 2 people describe the same the same system differently, one says confidential, the other says internal, the inventory is worthless. So consistency and language, or keeping it consistent, matters more than it sounds. Okay, now we go back to AI inventory, and we're going to create the 5 dropdowns. Okay, now we're going to enter information into the system. I'm going to use a fictional company. Let's go with Acme Manufacturing. For AI system, the kind of mix you actually find. And notice I'm using role titles rather than names because an AI inventory should survive people changing jobs. So if I did pre-write the force system ahead of time, so we could just copy and paste it real quick and not take too much time from watching me type. We're going to leave M and N blank for right now. The reason being is the risk calculator doesn't exist yet, and the inventory is still useful before any scoring exists. So, but yeah, that's the second row. I will complete the other 2 so we can just continue moving forward instead of watching me type. So, and this is where it's getting interesting. If I have an AI system being actively used, but the approval status is unknown, I have a visibility problem. In episode 004, I talked about shadow AI as a cost problem. This is the same problem from the governance side. That's the beginning of what people call shadow AI. I'm not claiming anything about how widespread it is. I'm just showing what it looks like when you actually write it down. So now I want to take this one step further with a simple scoring model. Data classification plus business plus approval status. This isn't a NIST risk score. I'm building this as a demonstration to see whether 3 attributes can help me prioritize what deserves attention first. All right, so in my risk sheet, I'm for them 1 through 4, 2, 3. With 0, 2, 3. So I want to note this is a prototype model owned by OJMMH, not a NIST scoring system. Okay, now let's head back to the AI inventory. We're going to go to risk score and risk level. Okay, we got that. Let's do some conditional formatting for risk level. All right, so now the sheet tells you where to look before you read a single word of it. All right, look at Claude. It's being used by engineering. It's handling confidential data. It's highly critical, and the approval is unknown. So my prototype flagged it as the only high risk system on the sheet. So I'll be honest, I use Claude to help me think through building things. So the tool I built just flagged the tool I built it with. So that's kind of the point. It doesn't care what I feel about a system. It just does the math. All right, so let's continue forward. Let's go set up our dashboard. Dashboard types already started. OJMMH, AI governance inventory, NIST AI, RMF, map function prototype. All right, so I'm going to add 4 metrics. Read the following. So you got total AI system approved, unknown approval, and high risk. And the risk distribution, you got the risk count for low. We have 0 for low, 3 for medium, and 1 for high risk. Instead of making someone read the whole spreadsheet, I wanted a management view pretty much. So 4 AI system, 2 approved, 2 unknown, 1 high risk. Now I can immediately see where I need to ask questions. So looking at my dashboard, I got my numbers, I got my information from my spreadsheet, from the AI inventory sheet. Let's insert a chart. So let me go under risk distribution, highlight that. Let's insert a 2D cluster chart. And here you go. 1 high and 3 medium and 0 low. So approved system with unknown approval status. So yeah, just throw that in there so management itself can see this. All right, now that we're done with dashboard, let's go over to reference. This is a OJMMH AI inventory, NIST AI RMF map prototype. So just to give you that important disclaimer. And if it's high, medium, or low. Very important to know that this is OJMMH educational prototype. It is not a NIST assessment, certification, legal determination, or compliance determination. And the scoring rules and disclaimer live in this workbook itself. So if this ever leaves my hand, it can't be mistaken for something official. This is also where I see limits of version 1. Knowing what AI system exists is only the beginning. I still need to understand actual risks. I need a better measurement. I need to add governance, and I need a process for managing what I find. This was map done. The other 3 functions are still ahead of me. So that's my first attempt at turning AI governance concept into something practical. I started with visibility. Next, I wanted to take this inventory and build an actual AI risk assessment. So if you want to follow this experiment, subscribe, and I'll build the next version with you. I'm Omar. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.